Hello guys, and welcome back to the casting series where I'm following around Team Solo Payload on this skirmish matches that they've been doing all night here. They are going to be going up against a new team though, Injustice. So I'm pretty curious about what compositions are going to be played out now. Team Solo Payload did walk away with 2 wins on those previous matches. So let's see what they can do against this team Injustice. And now you can see heroes being picked. And in case you didn't know, your exits are going to be here on your left and right side, ladies and gentlemen. And now we could see a couple heroes being picked. There's about 5 seconds left for them to assemble. And it looks like the defense here, Team Solo Payload, is going to be running Widowmaker. And both teams look to be running a pretty standard comp with their supports. The Mercy and Lucia are pretty strong duos. Haven't seen too many other supports being played, but I'd really like to see that. Maybe like a Symmetra on this defensive team. But they are going to need those revives and boosts, so I can understand it. But I still think Symmetra is a really good pick for that early start because her sentries and turrets are actually really threatening. And now we can see the red team picking up a sniper of their own. So we have no idea what this dragon guy is capable of. And we haven't seen too many picks from Lego Math. So going to be really interesting to see what these widows are able to do. And Lego Math going to set a trap there on the door, retreating back to his team. And his team looks to be taking a pretty offensive stance here, standing on the minivan, not really going under the arches. And now this game is underway. Junkrat putting out grenades into the enemy spawn. McCree trying to do damage to that Reinhardt shield, so they're just gonna have to burn their shields down on both teams if they want to keep pressure. And Dragon now being dropped by Lego Math with a pick there at the very beginning. And now Lego Math finds another pick. If this guy can keep up these kind of picks all game, I'm gonna be pretty excited to see what other shots he can make. And now blue team playing pretty aggressive still. Junkrat lobbing grenades into the top of bar. And it's pretty interesting now to see the blue team playing a little pressed up here, trying to keep as much pressure as they can, I guess. But I would be a little wary because that Widowmaker is still up, and it would be pretty dangerous if they end up going down here. But now it looks like the red team is advancing there onto the van, getting up 2 picks there. Widow getting a pick on Lego Math, and McCree also getting a pick on their tank. There's now 4 up left to defend this point. Reinhardt going into the security room, but not really finding anything. And it looks like Funny Dude is repositioning himself for some kind of back flank here. And now we can see the point is now being contested as this defensive team is trying to hold their ground. But Reinhardt is going to be dropping an ultimate to pick up that Yogi Bear support. And now we can see the Mercy going down on that team as well. And now left here is Junkrat trying to get some kind of grenade kill here. And now at high noon being called out from the opposite team. So lots of these people are being cleaned up off the point here. Not really going to have a big defense. And it looks like Team Injustice is going to get this contested point. They are going to be escorting this payload with 6 minutes left. That's going to be plenty of time for them to get it into this next checkpoint. And now the blue team is going to have to reposition themselves. The Widows are both up, so we could potentially see some Widow picks here. And Dragon going to be shooting through that shield as this blue team is now grouping up in the back line. Red team looks like they're going to be going on top of this general store. I assume to counter off this Lego Math Widowmaker, and he's gonna get a pick there on the 1v1 duel against the other Widow. Red team now stacking up off the elevator on the general store, going for a pick here on Lego Math so he can't do any more damage to the team. Very smart play for their whole team to kind of decide to go and take out this Widow, knowing that it is for the better for this push. So now it looks like Widow coming up off her own spawn, going for a pick here. McCree gonna come up in this backline flank, able to pick off the Reinhardt, but Mercy is gonna use the revive to bring the team back up, and lots of ultimates being used now. Junkrat using his ultimate. If he could pick up a big kill here, it'd be huge, but he only manages to pick up 1 kill and following it up with the grenade kill on the Reinhardt. And now we can see Widow with her ultimate up, using the walls, and a high noon being used and getting a double kill on Dragon and the Mercy there. And now it looks like this red team's gonna have to kind of fall back and regroup because they do have a support down, another player going down as well. So that's gonna be 3 left on this point. Junkrat just doing huge amounts of damage, kind of keeping this red team from pressing on any further. Legomath now repositioning herself on top of the saloon, gonna try to go for some picks here off the spawn, and she doesn't manage to find the shot there, and the shield is going to block that incoming snipe shot. But the sniper is setting up behind the Reinhardt shield and does pick off their sniper. So this is going to be pretty huge for them because there's no sniping opposition. Junkrat trying his best here to pick off their Widow as well, but he's going to be unable to do so. And Reinhardt getting a nice ultimate there on both of the supports, picking up a kill on Yogi and Frosted, but Mercy did use a revive there to counter that. And now we can see McCree coming up behind this Lucio, does pick up the kill there. So that's going to be one less down on the attacking team. And the ultimates are building up about right now. So Yogi Bear does have his ult. Junkrat is also having his ult. Reinhardt about to have his as well. And so this is going to be pretty good for them because they do need something here to stop this push from happening. It looks like Legomath is not really aware of the positioning of where the opposite Widow is, but Junkrat is going to use his ulti there to pick up the kill, but he does take himself down as well here. And we can see the red team stacking up on top of the saloon. This is going to be big, but I think Reinhardt does notice where their position is. And so they're gathering up now on top of this saloon. Legomath taking a shot there, going to have to hide a bit from the damage. And the high noon being called out. McCree, if he can get a double here, it'll be pretty big for them. But they are box hugging that really well, able to stay out of his line of sight. And now it looks like he's being boosted damage. Mercy is taking damage though from behind from this Junkrat. Junkrat managing to pick up the support, but McCree is going to follow that up with a pick of his own. And it looks like ultimates are being built up now on the offensive team. Mercy having her revive up, so that's going to be pretty important for this next push. And Funny Dude having his ult up as well. And it looks like Lego's trying to go for a pick here, but not going to be really able to do anything. And Legomath does pick up a kill on their McCree, and Zyra picking up a kill on Funny Dude. So they are going to be down on that high noon. But Reinhardt does still have his ulti up, and Lucio. So double supports here having their ults, and their double tanks on the offense having their ults as well. So we're going to see some trade-offs here. And now we could see Reinhardt using an ult, picking up both on the supports, but he's not going to be able to get a kill there. But Smart As You does pick off the Lucio, and Funny Dude does follow it up from the spawn there on the Mercy. And we can see the Zarya picking off their tank now, and Legomath trying to get a pick. So we're going to have a little sniper battle here, and this will allow their sniper from pushing if he can get the pick here, and he does manage to find that body. And now it looks like the team is now coming up off the spawn. Red team having a slight advantage here. They do have more ultimates up, and the payload has now reached the checkpoint, so they have 4 minutes now to escort this payload to the next checkpoint. So that's plenty of time. So this blue team's gonna have to play pretty careful, making sure not to overextend. They don't really want any players going down right now, so they just need to make sure that their team coordination goes well here. They do have ultimates up though from the Junkrat, and a beat drop coming down from the Lucio, and a high noon as well. But Funny Dude is going to go down. Looks like Canadian A is going down as well, and both shields still staying up on the offensive team. So that's going to be pretty huge for this push. They are escorting the payload inches by inch. So now it looks like Dragon trying to find some targets, does find that Junkrat. So they're going to be down 2 on the defense now. So red team does have a slight advantage here. McCree finding shots on this other McCree, but McCree is going to get away from that. And Dragon now picking up 2 kills on the McCree and the support. And now this McCree is just taking down the Reinhardt. So that is going to be 3 down on the defensive team. So they're not going to have a very strong defense. So this payload is going to probably make it all the way up to the camper position. Barrett now going to have to retreat back as her team comes up off the spawn, but she's going to go down as well. And now this red team has all of the advantage, and blue team is not going to be able to regroup up on this point. So red is gonna just keep pushing this all the way. Reinhardt getting 2 there, and a 3rd one going down from Dragon, a high noon as well from Canadian. So their whole team is now cleaned up, and then that's gonna go to Injustice here on this map, Hollywood. So let's go ahead and look at what the play of the game was. Very curious to see, but I do have to say, pretty good pushing there towards the end. The very beginning of the match seemed pretty stagnant, but Injustice was able to just keep going with the composition they were running, and I didn't see too many composition changes from Team Solo Payload, so I'm not really sure if that hurt him, but the Widowmaker was able to get the picks that were needed towards the end of the match there. And now you can see the MVP list for the team. Smart as you doing a good amount of damage there. Fat Tony blocking a good amount of damage. So I'm going to stop the recording here, and I will see you guys in the next video.